What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to unpack the new events that are going to be coming live at Reset today. So if you recall, we're wrapping up the month of September activities now and starting things with October. This is the Night of the Wear Tigress, but as well the Dark Defenders that's going to be tied back into this milestone that's going to help push points to ultimately unlock the newest Avenger here. So having said that, kind of similar to what we've seen with the previous month-long events, you know, it's going to be a marathon throughout the entire month, going through these different milestones. What is a little bit different format is that we're finally switching back now to the character release, where, as if you recall, in September, you know, we were just building up these secret defender shards as we were able to push through higher and higher. So it does, I had a chance to look through the milestone. It does look like we're only going to be able to unlock Tigra near the final stages of this monthly event. So they reverted back to kind of similarly how they did things before. Whereas before, you know, if you recall, I think Val was one of them where we did unlock Val actually within the first 5-6 milestones, but they did revert back now where we do have to build towards this for the full month to get her unlock here. So I think there's only about 100+ shards here available, and as you can see, you know, she is a 100 shard unlock. So just something to be mindful of. We're going to need to build and work towards this for the full month. So something to be mindful of. You don't want to be missing any events if you are trying to unlock her. Hopefully they are going to add more shards in other aspects of the game, such as, you know, the strike pass, the season pass, and so forth, and that's going to give us an opportunity to build up her higher, especially knowing that they are a team required for the next legendary event. It's definitely important to know. Okay, so that's going to kick off Dark Defenders. You can always get additional details if you hit the eye as well, just to see what that breakdown is going to be. So it is a back-to-back here. We previously just wrapped up the Alchemical Assault here with the ISO-8 energy, but it looks like we're going to be doing something similar. So you can see we're going to be trying to earn all these Defender Pumpkins that's going to ultimately add points for this milestone. In conjunction with that, there's going to be Cosmic Crucible battles utilized, and you know, using the Masters of Evil at higher gear tier levels is going to help out with this. And lastly, the Moonlit Mayhem Web milestone, which is actually a Blitz event that you can go through day by day. It's going to be 4 days for both these events that will add to these Defender Pumpkins. So if we hit preview here, guys, we can actually get a sense here of what the milestones are going to be looking like and what's achievable, really. I have prepared a breakdown of this just to see what's going to be feasible. But before I show that here, I just want to showcase again, keep in mind, as you're working towards this milestone, these cat's head amulets, they're going to be adding to the monthly event. So anytime you see the symbol, know that this is part of that, you know, Wear Tigress monthly event, and it's going to add points to that overall milestone. Having said that, you can get additional details as well if you click on the scoring, and you can see the full breakdown here of how the points are going to be generated. So as you can see, we do need to be winning our Cosmic Crucible battles. It's going to be a pretty sizable chunk of points over time. It's more specifically though, if you have Masters of Evil at these gear tier levels, looks like 16 and above, they can give some pretty notable points, especially if you look at the ones at gear tier 18. That limit is 7,500. Once you reach that limit, the other one you want to be focusing on is the Cosmic Crucible battle wins, because you can see with each one it's gonna be 200 points. And then lastly, the Defender Pumpkins, which is unlimited here, because that's going to be ultimately the way to build higher and higher milestones for this event. So if I scroll down here now, you know, the one thing I do like to point out is kind of what the main target or goal of the milestone is, because that's going to be of utmost importance. And as you can see, milestone 12 is the one you want to be aiming for, because this is the Beast Glove. This is going to be adding a sizable portion. I think it's around 40,000 points that's going to be going straight to the monthly event. So this is really the big one that you want to be aiming for. Anything beyond that is going to be extra. But now let's take a look here in terms of what's going to be free to play friendly, because we can see here that beyond that, milestone 14 has Photon shards. We got Rayge shards at 15. This 10k code phase bits is specifically for the Silver Centurion. More specifically, that relates to the Iron Man OG in the game if you wanted an alternate for him, but as well additional Photon shards. Again, 17 and 18 also has more Rayge and Photon shards. So obviously a lot of shards to go around here, which is awesome, but what is achievable? So this is the breakdown that we have right now in terms of what you can score, and I have summarized it in terms of the points, but as well the column I want to focus on is actually the right, being free to play, because myself, you know, what's going to be achievable, especially if you have a free to play roster similar to my account, what's going to be the points that we can realistically aim for and push, right? So you can see with each Cosmic Crucible win, The max is about 3,600. Assuming you do get 18 wins, which is 6 wins per Cosmic Crucible battle in the week, this is going to be amounting to a pretty good chunk here of 3,600. With Masters of Evil involved, if you have the wins as well, they're going to be adding another 1,500. And again, it's going to be tied back if you already used them as part of that victory. But as well, you can see I actually did factor out the gear tier 17 and 18 because I feel like not a lot of folks will probably have them built up. So I just used an average here. I used the assumingly gear tier 16 level for all 5 characters. But again, I understand that folks may not have all this built up. I personally only have actually Kang beyond gear tier 16, so I just wanted to use an average here. But for me personally, I'm only going to get benefit out of that gear tier 18 level, but that is the one that you want to be using if you do have Kang, just because you can see that limit does have a higher threshold, especially with gear tier 18 and having 500 points higher. So feel free to plus minus that 2250 if you feel like that's not applicable. We also have the daily pumpkins. Now the daily pumpkins, we're being super conservative here based on what we learned with the mystical energies in the last event, because if you recall, I had to do a revision on this calculation because of how I guess frugal they were being with the points. So we're just going to use a very conservative 2-to-1 ratio here, which is essentially every point of 1 ISO-8 energy, that's gonna translate to 2 points of the daily pumpkin. So if you do that for 4 days, as well as coring your refreshes 4 times per day, which is 200 cores per day, that's going to amount to around 1100 energy per day utilized, and that's going to give you about 8800 points. That's a pretty big chunk of points if you guys have that. So hopefully you have the cores ready to go. If you do not have that, then your points per day will likely be around more around that 4 or 5k mark, depending on how much energy you can get. Just make sure you guys are getting all the free claims though throughout the day if you're able to. Then last but not least, we do have a web milestone that is going to be based on the blitzing. So assumingly you have about 50 to 55 teams that can get the rotations done, that's going to be about 3.5 rotations or higher just to get the points total. Now the good news is for this one is that it's going to be based on earning blitz credits. So if there's other ways to add blitz credits into the game, that's going to obviously help with the points. But in order to earn blitz credits, it does mean we do need to win through the blitz rotations. So it's not as friendly as the last event that we had, where it didn't really matter if you were winning or losing. This one is going to need to matter because you can only get blitz credits by winning in blitz. So something to be mindful of there, giving us the 8,000 points on. Adding all this up, assuming that you do have gear tier 16 for Masters of Evil, that's going to give us about 24,000 points. So that in essence is the rundown of the event, guys. So as you can see, like I said earlier, the 18,000 points for the Beast Gloves, I think, is going to be really free-to-play friendly. Anything beyond that is going to be ultimately dependent on if you have Masters of Evil invested in, if you are, doing your 3 to 4 rotations per day for those 4 days, and getting the wins and the credits to actually get through that, right? Thankfully, that's not a lot of rotations, but still takes up time more or less, right? If you do want to aim for obviously any of the higher shards here, as you can see, like the Photon and Robbie Rayge shards at 24,000 and 28,000, I think are really good goals to go for. But after that point, anything beyond that, even the Silver Centurion skin with the additional 15 Photon, it's looking like you probably have to grind a bit for that. Especially, like I said, it's going to be dependent on the daily pumpkins and how high you have your Masters of Evil. So those are going to be the 2 X factors. This could be a very easy event if you already have a really, really built up Masters of Evil team. However, we know that the Nova Trials is coming around the corner, so if you guys want to invest in those characters to obviously push for a higher Nova, would be a great time to take advantage of this event. Having said that, I still think milestone 12 going for the Beast Gloves is really safe, and anything extra beyond that point is going to be bonus. So that's kind of my game plan. I think I'm going to try for the additional Photon shards just because it is nice to have, but I mean, I'm not going to be shooting for anything crazy. If I do the math and I realize that it's not worth it, might be better just to save your power cores to go for the 18,000 and milestone 12. Keep it simple, but as well get the meaningful event item that's going to add to the monthly event. So hope this helps you guys for the breakdown. Hopefully you guys are getting prepared here. This is going to be live in a few hours. Thank you as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.